Likeable, favorite. Those words are interchangeable today because, of course, I'm biased. I mean, it's my video. I'm the one recording. It is my opinion, but this is actually facts. Everything I say today is factual. Shout out to Kenny Beecham, king of the fourth quarter. Obviously, he does these most blank player from every team videos. I know he didn't really come up with that idea, but you know, he did just drop a video recently called I think he did the most underrated player on every team, and I'm a big fan of his channel, like many of you probably. So shout out to Kenny Beecham, because today I'm going to be doing really my favorite player on every team. These non-Damian Lillard to Miami Heat videos typically don't perform as well, but I do want to, grow this channel, so I kind of want to focus on some NBA content, expand my horizons a little bit instead of solely relying on Damian Lillard and spam that whole situation. So if you are a fan of this channel and a fan of this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it, man. So first off, with the Atlanta Hawks, I got Wesley Matthews. Now, the main reason I like Wesley Matthews is because he is good. I actually think he's really good. I don't have much more to it than that. I don't know why I came in here so hot, like I'm a big fan of his. Truthfully, some of these teams I kind of just had to pick a guy, but I'll alert you of that. But Wes Matthews went to Marquette. Of course, being a Heat fan, love Jimmy Butler, love Dwayne Wade, to Marquette guys. And Wes Matthews actually earned a lot of my respect in the bubble when he was guarding Jimmy Butler. I thought he did a phenomenal job guarding him. Some of the best, defense that I've seen being played on Jimmy. And to all the Portland fans watching this video, because we've had a lot of interactions, I really liked y'all squad was with when Wes Matthews was there, and y'all had Nick Batum and Aldridge and Dame. I really like those teams. So from the Atlanta Hawks, I got Wesley Matthews. Moving on to the Boston Celtics, a team that I hate, but I do like Jaylen Brown. Why? Because he's so generous, baby. Always giving my team the ball in the playoffs. It's truly, truly a beautiful thing. Anytime he goes left, he says, here's a gift for you, Miami. Here, take this ball and go score on the other end. And for that, I really love Jaylen Brown. But actually, in all seriousness, I still think he's a good player. He's a really good two-way player, something that I personally value. And he seems like an actual, really good dude. Very, very smart guy. Does a lot in the community. I have a lot of respect for that. So let's go with Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics. Moving on to the Brooklyn Nets, a little bit of a theme y'all see today is my guy Lonnie Walker, solely because he went to the University of Miami, played very, very well there, and I do think he's a decent player. Had some spots with the Lakers last year, but he's still young, he's still growing. I think he'll eventually turn into a really, really good player in this league for a long time. Moving on to the Charlotte Hornets, I have Cody Martin, and really just because he looks like Caleb Martin. Truthfully, I couldn't tell the difference. So if I love Caleb Martin, why not like Cody Martin too? Also, it's the Charlotte Hornets, and I had nobody else to pick from. The Chicago Bulls, I got Lonzo Ball. I really like Lonzo coming out of college. Well, I guess even high school technically, because his fame even extends all the way back to Chino Hills. But obviously you had LeVar Ball, who I also liked. A lot of people didn't. I thought he was hilarious. But he put a lot of pressure on his son for sure. But I always liked the way Lonzo handled it. He was always very calm, very reserved. Really the exact opposite of his dad. Came to the NBA, was a really good player for the Lakers, and then, of course, for New Orleans. Now, I pray for his health and his NBA career because he's been going through a lot of injuries. He's going to miss all of next season as well, it looks like. But I think he's a good dude. I think he's a good player. And also, he's a decent rapper. I had a couple of his songs in my playlist back in the day, like the ZO2s, like What You Gonna Do? ZO2. I don't remember the lyrics, but it was solid. Cleveland Cavaliers. Max Strus, baby. Y'all know, if y'all been fans of this channel for a long time, you know about the Strus daddy alerts. You know Max Strus is my guy. Sad to see him go. Glad that he got paid. I also like Donovan Mitchell. I think he'll be here in a couple years in Miami. But I had to go with my guy, Max Strus, on the Cavaliers, a team that I think is going to be very good next year. And the Mavericks really got the first star player, unless you count Jaylen Brown. But, I tried not to pick the star player on every team because, truthfully, those aren't my favorite guys typically. I like a lot of the lower key guys. But not Luka Doncic, baby. The reason I like Luka is because he reminds me of myself. A guy who you can't slide a piece of paper on him when he jumps. That's how unathletic he is. But the dude can get buckets. Now, I don't get buckets to the extent that he does, but I like how he kind of uses his IQ and his tricks and his moves and his fakes to score, kind of something similar that I have to do when I ball because I am not athletic either. So I love Luka Doncic. Put an honorable mention for this one, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr. because his dad is one of the greatest players in Heat history, and I've always liked Tim Hardaway Jr. as well. The Denver Nuggets, don't like a single player on that team. I'm not salty because, I'm salty they beat me in the finals, but truthfully, I'm just not really fans of anyone on that team. So I really solely picked Zeke Naji because I was a fan of him coming out of the draft, and he's a big man that can shoot, and I like those type of players. Moving on, the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Stewart. First of all, this man, I like him as a player, right? Great hustler, great rebounder, can shoot three. Love that type of player. But when that clip came out, or when that game happened where he tried to fight LeBron, that was the funniest thing I ever seen, because that is what I wanted to do to LeBron when I was a kid in 2014 and LeBron left the Heat. And I was I was sad at first, but then obviously, as a kid, I had some angst against LeBron. Was never disrespectful towards him because I appreciated everything he did for Miami. But I was mad Bron left my team, bro. And seeing Isaiah Stewart attack him like that, made me feel like a little kid again, wishing that I could do that to LeBron. No, it's really a stupid reason. I understand. No hate against LeBron now, but I really, really love Isaiah Stewart for that. Put the Thompson twin, I think it's a sir. Yeah, sir, as the, I think it is a sir. I was going to write it in this note, but then I said I remember, but I still get it mixed up. But either way, I have both the Thompson twins as honorable mentions. You'll see later on. Those kids can hoop, and they seem like really awesome dudes. So I'm looking forward to watching them in the NBA. That's my honorable mention. The Warriors, again, I kind of just had to pick someone. Went with Kevon Looney just because I like a guy that can get a lot of rebounds. And if y'all haven't seen Kevon Looney's high school tape, the dude was like Allen Iverson. I can't even, he was like Kevin Durant. Whatever you want to compare him to, whatever superstar, that's what he was in college, or high school and college. So the fact that he, sacrificed his game and kind of became pretty much just a solid rebounder to win championships, have a lot of respect for that as well. Kevon Looney for the Golden State Warriors. Moving on, a guy that I love, the Houston Rockets. I got Alperen Sengun. Now, what's the meme? It's like you got Jokic, like the Pokemon evolution. It's like the bottom is, I guess, Sengun, and then Domantas Sabonis, and then Nikola Jokic. Well, I think Alperen Sengun can get to, not Jokic levels one day, but he can get to Sabonis levels, maybe surpass Sabonis because I think he's that good. I made a video a few months ago basically predicting the All-Stars in 5 years. I had Sengun on that list. I think he's awesome. The defense sucks, but they barely play defense in the NBA now. I can imagine in 5 years from now, it's going to be a lot less. And I like a dude that could pass the ball. That's another type of player that's some of my favorites. And he has the Magic Johnson dives that are so fun to watch. And also, again, the Thompson twin. Have him there too. Honorable mention. Of course, the two Miami guys on the Indiana Pacers, Isaiah Wong and Bruce Brown. I couldn't pick between the two because I love my University of Miami guys. If I had to pick, though, I would probably pick Isaiah Wong just because the Hurricanes were better when he was there. Obviously, they made the Final Four, lost to UConn, and I don't remember the Hurricanes being too good when Bruce Brown was there. But shout out to my Miami boys. I do have Tyrese Halliburton as an honorable mention because he's a frequent guest on the Old Man and the Three, JJ Redick's podcast, and he is hilarious. Seems like an awesome dude and even a better player. Moving on to the Clippers. Now, this time, I didn't want to spam the University of Miami players, so I put Jordan Miller as an honorable mention. They just drafted him, but again, Jordan Miller was on that team with Isaiah Wong last year. They went to the Final Four. Love him. But I wanted to give some love to Russell Westbrook, man, a guy that has been hated for so long in this league. I was going to say undeservedly so, which is true. But I, even myself, as a big Westbrook fan, have found it hard to defend him over the last couple years, particularly what he's did in L.A., But let's not forget this guy's one of the greatest point guards of all time. Let's not forget that he made triple-doubles a common thing. Let's not forget that he can do everything out there on the basketball court. People say he's a stat patter. Maybe. But if everybody could do what he does, they would do it. So even though he stat pads, he still has the talent to get these triple-doubles. Because I guarantee you there's a lot of players in the league that are stat patters and maybe care more about their stats, but they can't do what he does. One of the most exciting players in his prime that I've ever witnessed, the dunks, the mean mugs, all of it. I love Russell Westbrook, and I hope that he's maybe found a home in LA and he can have some success personally, but not for the team because I do not like the LA Clippers, particularly Paul George. Anyways, the Lakers, Gabe Vincent, had to give it to my Miami guy. Big loss for the Heat. I really like Gabe Vincent a lot of what he brought to the table, and I think he'll be great in LA. Big fan of him. Moving on, not only one of my favorite players on the Memphis Grizzlies, but one of my favorite in the league. Not a single soul dislikes him, and if you do, why? It's Steven Adams, one of the funniest guys, one of the strongest guys, one of the toughest, one of the best dudes in the league, and the fact that he's so big and so strong, but is that hilarious is so it's so humorous to me. He's awesome. God, I wish he was on the Miami Heat. I hope he finds his way here one day. The clips of him, and the memes are endless. He's awesome. Got 2 honorable mentions here. Is Kenny Lofton Jr. I like the big boy that can get into the paint, old school with the post moves. That's the type of game that I just enjoy as a fan. Obviously, you can shoot the 3 too, but I got Kenny Lofton as the honorable mention. And Luke Kennard. Now, I don't actually like Luke Kennard, but this is a very, very like inside joke for OG fans of the channel. I have vlogs on this channel, maybe 4 or 5, and kind of the thing that I do whenever I go to a Heat game, because I vlog the Heat games, is I wait by the visitors tunnel where they leave on the bus, and every white guy that comes out, I scream Luke Kennard. It's just a meme I've started. Go check out the vlogs on this channel. They're actually very, very funny. Y'all will see that at the end of the vlogs. We got the Miami Heat. This guy right here on the jersey, Jimmy Butler, really wasn't a hard choice for me. I love everyone on the team. Duncan was probably my favorite player a couple years ago, just because I had never seen someone be as good at shooting as he is. But obviously that kind of tailed off. Love Bam Adebayo, obviously, but he frustrates me at times. Jimmy Butler is a guy that in my book can do no wrong. Think he's the definition of a superstar, because to me, the ultimate definition is a guy who is a big-time player in big-time games. Nobody represents that better than Jimmy Butler. One of my favorite guys in the league, and he will bring the city a championship. I honestly believe that. On the Bucks, kind of just picked Jay Crowder. Nobody I really liked too much, because Jay Crowder was solid with the Heat until he wasn't. And when he wasn't good, he was pretty bad in the NBA Finals. I was praying that he was going to stop shooting, but he shot more. But, he was good here. So we got Jay Crowder on the Bucks. Moving on to the Timberwolves, I just picked Luka Garza, again, because I like the big men that could shoot. He was very, very good in college. Obviously wasn't drafted too high because of his lack of athleticism defense, but I do like him. Put Cat as an honorable mention because I find him hilarious. All the clips you hear of him changing his voice and stuff, I think is so funny. Again, another big man that can shoot, has post moves, 2 of the things that I like most in a player. But for some reason, Jimmy Butler hates him. I know why Jimmy Butler hates him. He, has this image of being lazy or soft. I guess soft is a better word to put it. So if Jimmy don't rock with you, I can't put you as my favorite cat. I'm sorry. I'm moving on. Why do I have a picture of Zion sticking his tongue out? That was not intentional. Zion Williamson, one of my favorite players in the league. Like, again, just outside of the team. Coming out of high school, oh my God, I was addicted to watching this man's highlights, bro. Seeing him dunk on those little white boys in high school was so funny to me. And then he came to Duke and was dunking on those D1 athletes too. Absolutely love Zion Williamson. Never seen somebody with that size and that kind of athleticism, I guess, outside of LeBron. Truly thought coming out of college, Zion was going to be one of the greatest players of all time. And during his rookie season, he looked like it. From his first game, the man came out against the Spurs and it shot like 4 for 4 from 3, bro. And then, of course, you had all the injury concerns. But when he's played, he's been awesome. Praying that he could stay healthy because I love Zion Williamson. The Knicks, I picked Dante DiVincenzo because he is Italian. Or he's American, but of Italian descent. I'm Italian, Anthony DiNardo. And I do like DiVincenzo as a player. He's very good with the Bucks in the bubble also, guarding Jimmy Butler. So I'll give him that. Moving on to the Thunder. This was a tough one. I love the Thunder squad, bro. But I went with my dog, Lou Gwens Dort. Is that how you say his first name? Lou Dort. The dude is a lockdown defender. And I love dudes like that. He's got all this energy. He can shoot the ball. Sometimes I love Lou Dort, bro. And he has one of the best nicknames in the NBA, the Dorture Chamber. Love it. Loved Lou Dort. I also love Shai Gilgeous. I remember when he was traded from the Clippers, Kenny Beecham again said that he's one of the greatest, will be one of the great players in the NBA. And he was right. Shai Gilgeous is awesome. Been a fan of him since then. Josh Giddey, love him too. Again, a guy that could pass the ball. A guy that was memed for being terrible coming out of college. But he's awesome. And of course, the Thunder also have Victor Oladipo presently. Loved Vic. Loved Vic before he was in Miami. Loved him in Miami. I will always love Victor Oladipo, and I hope he comes back soon. On the Magic, I went with the guy I think may be the most underrated player in the league, Franz Wagner. He went to Michigan, so he's very close with Duncan Robinson. I was a frequent listener of Duncan Robinson's podcast when that was still a thing. He had Franz and his brother Mo on a couple times, but I just like Franz as a person. I like him as a player. He's going to be an all-star in 5 years, or within 5 years also, I believe, and one of the better players in the league. Big fan of Franz Wagner. On the 76ers, I went with PJ Tucker. I loved his years in Miami, or his years. He played 1 year here. He seems like a Heat lifer, but he played 1 year here. But he was awesome. Phenomenal shooter, phenomenal rebounder. Very, very tough. I really, really like PJ Tucker. On the Suns, I went with Kevin Durant. Okay, A lot of people might have Kevin Durant as one of their most hated players in the league because when he joined the Golden State Warriors. I respected that move so much. I feel completely opposite of everybody else regarding the situation. You know why? And I've said this multiple times on this channel. But people didn't like that he joined a super team. They thought he took the easy way out. The way I looked at it, his ultimate goal was winning a championship, and he went to the situation that gave him the best chance to win. In any aspect of life, for anybody watching this video, any goal you have, you will take the easiest route to get it. So why are we getting on Kevin Durant for taking the easiest route to achieve his goal? Plus, a lot of fans say, oh, players should only care about winning. All they care about is the money. Well, guess what? Kevin Durant cared about the winning. He went to the situation that gave him the best chance to win, and I respect the hell out of him for that. I respect him a lot more than guys like Carmelo Anthony and Bradley Beal, who always take the most money possible, which is fine. I'm not here to pocket watch. You get your bag. Get the most money you can. Good for you. But then don't complain why your team suck, okay? If you're Carmelo, don't force a trade to the Knicks and make them lose all those pieces just so you can get the extra year in your contract, get paid a little bit more, and then wonder why they suck, okay? That's why I respect Kevin Durant, and of course, I love him as a player as well. I'm moving on. Taps watch. Need I say more? Going on to the Sacramento Kings. It's De'Aaron Fox. Dude, I feel like De'Aaron Fox is legit just like a kid that just so happens to be in the NBA. Like if you watch interviews with him, like he's collaborated with YouTubers and Jesser and all those guys. He just seems like a kid. Like he seems like one of my boys back from high school that like I'm still cool with. You know what I'm saying? Loves anime, which is super cool. And he's a great player and he's clutch. They finally made the playoffs, the Kings. I thought Fox may fold, had such a great regular season. Can he take the pressure of the playoffs? Yes, he was amazing. Also got Davion Mitchell as an honorable mention because I love guys with great nicknames. And Off Night is one of the best in the league. Moving on to the San Antonio Spurs, Doug McDermott, solely because I like his nickname. We just said it, Dougie McBuckets. I remember when he was drafted to the Bulls. That's back when they were actually pretty good defensively and they just needed some scoring. I thought he was going to come there and help that team dominate. Turns out he wasn't as good as he was with Creighton, but I love his nickname. Dougie McBuckets. Moving on to the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes. Very likable guy. Very great player. I love when Goran Dragic was there. Obviously, a lot of the Raptors fans and maybe the team didn't like Dragic because he said he wanted to go contend. But him and Scotty had a great relationship, like the half a year that Goran was there. And I really liked Scotty for that. And I think he's a great player. I like those versatile type players too. And I could have went with the joke saying I like Dick. Don't make that joke, guys. I put him as an honorable mention just to remind myself. But so many people are going to be making that joke this year saying, I like Dick. Just don't be that guy. It's not funny. I do like Gay, though. Speaking of the Utah Jazz. No, I'm kidding. People are going to make that joke, too. It's not funny. On the Utah Jazz, I love Colin Sexton. Ever since high school, that famous clip of him staring down his defender when his defender was standing in first, it's so funny. He didn't back down, and then Colin Sexton went to Alabama. They had a game because of injuries and fouls. They actually had only 4 available players, and Colin Sexton almost beat the other team when his team, Alabama, only had 4 players. I was disappointed he went to the Cavs because I hated those Cavs teams with LeBron because LeBron left me. But now he's in Utah. Doesn't seem to be, as living up to his potential that he might have. But I still think he can be a really great player in this league. I'd love him in Miami. I'm a big fan of Colin Sexton. The Rudy Gay thing was just a joke, although I do like him as a player, and rumors about him coming to Miami have been around for years. The Jazz have Omer Yurtseven as another honorable mention. I liked him a lot. Coming out of some league. Turns out I don't think he's that good anymore. And they also have Micah Potter. Shout out to Sioux Falls Skyforce legend. I do like that, man. Another big that can shoot. And last but not least, we got the Washington Wizards, Danilo Gallinari. Again, the dude is Italian. And he's also had rumors to come to the Miami Heat for a very, very long time. And I'd like him here. Another big man that can shoot. That's my thing. That's all I got for this video, though. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and sub if you enjoy. Kenny Beecham, speaking of him, has a whole brand called Enjoy Basketball, and I can't even say the word. Crazy. But yeah, if you enjoy, like the video, subscribe. I'm really trying to help grow this channel, grow this brand, and expand into more horizons. So I do appreciate all the support. That being said, I'll see y'all next time.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.